فصلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد عباد الله, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created man and taught him eloquence, and we praise him and beseech him, and we send peace and blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger, beloved and the last prophet. He sent him but as mercy for the worlds. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as mercy to the worlds, and he brought with him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the wisdom and the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed on him. He taught the Sahaba, ridwanullahi alayhim, the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, lessons and wisdom, and they benefited from him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they had the priority to meet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and sit with him, feel him, laugh with him, cry with him, and express their feelings with him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So they had that priority compared to us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the heritage and the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that he left upon us and with us two things. If we hold tight upon them, we won't be astray. Kitab Allahi wa sunnati. Or as he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his teachings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. In the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there is ideal example for you, O believers. If you believe, that means you are looking at the example of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you learn from it, and you benefit, and you apply. It's not the fact that we just listen to the hadith and the Quran, alhamdulillah, it's beautiful. We have to apply in order to be amongst those who are amanu wa amilu salihat, those who believed and they did and commit to good deeds, and they did good deeds, and they worked, they put effort forward to enter Jannah and to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who are pleased, who He is pleased with, and those who will enter Jannah peacefully. Allahumma ameen. In the hadith of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, the son of Umar radiallahu anhuma, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam shares a story with the Sahaba. He shares a story with the Sahaba, and he says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that three men from the past were together walking, and they were tired on a trip. So they went in a cave. And most of us know this hadith, very famous hadith, but we need to look at the benefit that we can get from this hadith and this lesson that the Prophet ﷺ is telling us. And again, the Sahaba were listening directly to Muhammad ﷺ, and they're hearing this story. So let's feel that moment that you will be sitting with the Prophet ﷺ and listening from him and benefiting from his stories and wisdom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Three men were on a trip together, walking, and they felt tired. They entered a cave. They entered the cave, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decreed that a big rock falls down and closes the gate of that cave, and they're locked up. The Prophet ﷺ is telling the story, and he wants us to pay attention to what the intended purpose of this hadith is. They said, after getting in this situation, and we can imagine if someone gets stuck in a situation, for example, you can see an elevator, there's no electric, and you're stuck alone, and no connection, no Wi-Fi, no internet, and you are alone. You can't seek help from anyone except Allah. What did they say, those three men? They said that no one will save you from this tribulation except Allah. So let's ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to relieve us from this situation with the best deeds we have done. The best deed that we have done. So the first one started saying his situation and his deed and talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly with no borders, with no any impedance. So he started. He said, Allahumma, oh Allah, you know that I had two old parents whom I serve and whom I love more than I love myself. And I won't take anything in this life before them. If I had a blessing in life, I would offer it to them first. لا مالا ولا ولدا. Neither it was a money, if it was a money, or even my sons and daughters, my kids. They're the priority for me. And you know, Ya Allah, and he's making his dua, that one night I was late and I did not bring food yet to them. But I reached the home and I got the milk for them. I went to them and they're asleep. Again, he's telling, the first person is telling his story. And I found him asleep. Oh Allah, you know that I found them asleep and I stayed near to them and did not woke them up. I did not feed my kids first. I did not feed my family first until they get the drink that they deserve, because they are my parents. Oh Allah, you know that I have waited until Fajr time, and then they woke up and they drank from the milk I gathered for them. Oh Allah, if you know I did this for your sake and only for your sake, oh Allah, give us relief and make this big rock move. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right away moved this rock, and the rock has moved a little, but they still could not go. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam adds, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he adds, and the second person said, Allahumma kanat li bintu ammin. Oh Allah, you know that I had a cousin, and she was more beloved to me from anyone else, and I wasn't married to her. I seduced her, and she refused. He wanted to commit haram relationship with her, but she refused. Oh Allah, you know that she went in or through struggle and year of devastation, she seeked my help because I'm her cousin. And I then asked her again for the haram relationship I wanted to do with her haram, and she agreed because she was in need of money and in need of help. And when I wanted to start doing haram with her, she said, fear Allah. She yelled at me and she said, fear Allah, you cannot touch me except if you get married to me in a lawful way. Then I left her and went. I went away from her. I feared you, Allah. If you know, Ya Allah, if I feared you and I did this for your sake and only for your sake. So relieve us and give us relief and make things easy for us and make this rock move away. And the rock moved a little bit, but still they could not leave. The Prophet ﷺ adds and he says, وَقَالَ الثَّالِثُ اللَّهُمَّ إِنِّي اسْتَأْجَرْتُ جَرَاءَ. Oh Allah, I have rented some workers, or I asked some workers, I got some workers to work for me. And I paid everyone except for one. And he left. Oh Allah, you know that I have gathered his money and I worked up his money and I propagated his money in my business, and it's now big amount of money. And after years and years, he comes to me and he asks for his right back. And he says, Ya Abdullah, atini haqqi, give me my right, O servant of Allah. And he looks at him, the third man, and he says, all of what you see is yours. from cows, camels, from every goods that you see in front of you in the farm. Even the workers who work in the farm are all yours. He says, Ya Abdullah, do not make fun of me. He says, I'm not. Everything is yours. He takes everything and leaves. And he says, Ya Allah, he did not leave anything, and it was all his. Oh Allah, if you know I have done this for your sake and only for your sake, relieve us and give us relief and ease that we overcome this tribulation. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders this rock to move, and it's open, and they went out. The end of the hadith. The Prophet ﷺ gives us very important points in this hadith about the story of those three true men who seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help alone. And they knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is truly the one who relieves the one who asks for relief. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the relief in our dunya, Allahumma ameen, and the relief in our akhirah, Allahumma ameen. We have three scenes in this hadith that the Prophet ﷺ teaches us and bringing our minds to look at. The first one is the example of the first person. And why is it three men? Why does the Prophet ﷺ tell us this story anyway? These three manners that these scenes are bringing up through this hadith are the building blocks of the community and a family and a person. These values that this hadith is bringing us are the building blocks of a successful community, a successful family, a successful person. The first one is al-adab. The first teaching is al-adab. And al-adab and al-akhlaq, good manners and obedience to parents. Birrul walidain. The Prophet ﷺ tells us that this person is very loyal to his parents, and he cannot eat or drink or even spend money without having his parents feel the joy before him and his kids. We know you have kids, but no, my parents is number one. My parents are prior to the goodness that I have. أنت ومالك لأبيك. Isn't it like that? They say in Arabic, أنت ومالك لأبيك. Whatever you and your money and your wealth is towards your dad and towards your father. In another word, the man in the hadith here, and the Prophet ﷺ again is telling us the story for us to learn. This is the first building block in your characteristic. When you respect your parents, that means first you're giving them their right because they have raised you. And you're teaching your kids to respect you in the future in an indirect way. He waited until Fajr time. Who could do this in our times? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on us. But it's simple. The rule is there. We know that we have to respect our parents. Are we respecting our parents? Even if they're not alive, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on them. Live or dead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah has prescribed, it's a must, it's qada, that you worship Him alone and with it. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. He did not say then, ثُمَّ بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. No, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ. Right away, your parents, ihsan. You have to commit to ihsan with your parents first. This is the first factory of men that will produce a great person in the community. The household, your family, your mother, your father. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on all of them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather us with the beloved ones in Jannah, our parents and our beloved ones. Allahumma ameen. Why did the Prophet ﷺ choose this example first? Because it is the building block, the very first important building block. You cannot serve communities out there and you are not doing great with your families. You are teaching your household, if you're married, that my parents are number one. And my parents are the ones who will have the key of Jannah first. And through them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ease things for me. Through them. And you can have many examples where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have barakah in you and give you barakah. Every single one of us. will relate to this and knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has eased things, many things, because of the dua of your parents, or because of the satisfaction and joy that you brought to your parents. So this is why it's so important that we start off with this. And the Prophet ﷺ himself started with this building block for a community and a human being and a person of belief. A person of belief. So this man was honored to serve his parents that way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that you mentioned this story to your ummah. Right now we're 2017 and we are mentioning this story and we're benefiting from this story. That Allahu A'lam how many years that person that the Prophet ﷺ talked about was living in. So this is the first building block and the first scene that the Prophet ﷺ is bringing to our minds. The second one. The second one is al-iffah, chastity or purification of the heart and the soul and the body. The second example of the person who is mentioned in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is talking about his temptation and his desire in this dunya. And the Prophet ﷺ is telling us this story and telling the Sahaba because we have desires too. Yes, we do. And we should control them. Yes, we do. And if we don't take care of it, they will overcome us. Temptations and desires, yes, they will do. Because we're human beings. And the Sahaba were human beings. And the Prophet ﷺ taught them and reminded them. The person seduces his cousin, the close person to him. And he says, I loved her so much than anyone else in this earth. I loved her so much. And he's asking her for haram. But she refused. She denied. You cannot do that. This is not the lawful way. What do we talk about from that lesson? Do we talk about the chastity and iffah of the woman? This lady who refused to do haram because Allah is the one who's the Lord and who's seeing her and him and He won't be satisfied with this action? Or do we talk about her situation when she said, you cannot touch me this way, get married to me, you can. She still thinks this person is good. She still thinks that this person has piety in his heart and he would fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he would return and remember, and he did. Sometimes we underestimate, wallah, look at this sister, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, maybe her hijab is not full. Or astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, this brother doesn't have a beard, astaghfirullah. Underestimating things, and we forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us as one ummah. Even if someone is asim, is fasiq, he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, he's your brother. That's the unity of the ummah. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with Iman and Islam. This is the true fact about Muslims, that they're united and they should be united. Al-Muslim wa akhul Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ says that the Muslim is the brother. The brother, not because of his beard, not because of his looks, not because of his salah, even if he was a fasiq. If someone stopped praying, and this is not right at all, and there's a lot of hadith that tell you this is a very bad word, a great warning that you will be out of the millah for that action. And ulama actually quantify that, or they put that in a category of fisq if someone leaves salah. Because al-'abd alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salat faman tarakaha faqad kafar, whoever leaves it. But still, he or she, they believe in Allah's oneness and believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, prophethood. So, do we talk on the other hand about the person who feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he left her and he ran away from a situation he was about to commit haram? Another riwayah for this hadith, that he was about to start committing zina. And he had sat for the position of doing zina. SubhanAllah, in the other narration. That tells you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafur Rahim. And He will accept. And the proof is that he did it for the sake of Allah. Truly for the sake of Allah. He has left it and he could have done it. But only for the sake of Allah, Allah has saved him. And saved his companions in the cave when they were stuck. This is the lesson that we get. Why iffah? How is it a building block in a society? The building block of the society is to have good relations and good akhlaq within each other in the community. If a person has akhlaq and iffah and manners, he knows how to deal with the other gender. He knows how to deal with his cousins. He knows how to deal with his parents. He knows how to deal with himself. Then you have a healthy, good, successful, strong, aziza, and an ummah with izzah at that time. If we apply these manners and these scenes that the Prophet ﷺ is giving us in this hadith, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach us what benefits us and make us amongst those who benefit from what He teaches. Allahumma ameen. صلى الله وسلم وبارك. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه من كل ذنب إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله المصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد كما صليت وباركت وسلمت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Dear brothers, we have a couple announcements. So this Sunday we are participating in Shura Council's Open Mosque Day. An event where the mosque is open to anyone interested in visiting the Muslim community. The program will run from 2:30 to 4. Those interested in volunteering, please see Brother Jawad after prayer. And this Sunday also we have our monthly Circle for Elders program with Sheikh Suhail Mullah. The program consists of discussion followed by food and chance to socialize. The program begins at 5. And also a reminder that on Tuesdays there is a class on the life of the Prophet ﷺ from 7 to 8 with Sheikh Suhail Mullah also. We have ongoing Quran reading with for adult men and women with Qari Talib Wednesday and Thursday evening after Isha for men, and on Fridays from 10 to 12 for women. Lastly, we have the youth group for teens every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. where youth come together to build their American Islamic identity. All high school students are welcome. Food is available for purchase from Bayt al-Hilal for today, inshallah. And also, see me after Salah, inshallah. There's a couple of brothers who are seeking work. Inshallah, if you have any job or you know someone who can offer a job, inshallah, for youngsters, please see me after Salah. So the Prophet ﷺ gives us the example of those three men who entered the cave and got stuck in the cave. And they were relieved for their good deeds, for their sincere repentance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also for sincere dua that they asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third person and the third scene that we get the benefit from is that person of amana, trustworthiness and truthfulness. Truthfulness to whom? To the workers that he was working, that they work for. They work for him. The workers that they came and they spent their time days and nights to put the effort and they work for a person. And we can relate to this. And also, this is a very important building block in a society, a successful society that calls themselves Muslims. The ones who relate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam and the message of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Why amana? Why trust? Why that worthy of trust? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us through Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Again, in the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam example, you have an ideal example. You have an ideal example in his life, his teachings, his hadith, his way of living, his lifestyle. Why amana? Once we have that adab, that manner, when we deal with others, and we deal with ourselves, with our family members, with our parents, and once we have that iffah, and that chastity and purification to our souls, our deeds and our a'mal and efforts, and our deeds, then we need that type of amana that controls our dealings, our businesses, our dealings with others, other communities, with other religions, with other people, other mindsets. in our community and outside the community. The example of that third person was that he did not give the money to that person who deserved it because he left, but he still did not eat that money in haram. He knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching, and there was no ittisalat, no connections, there was no phones, he can't call. But yet, and he doesn't know anything about the person, yet he saved his right because he knows that Allah is watching. Even if that person who was the businessman about to die, he knows that there is something waiting for him. And the right of the person who deserves the right, who left the worker, is still there and waiting for him. They both feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The person comes to him and he asks in a polite way, Ya Abdullah, give me my money back. And he says, all of what you see is yours. We have two lessons from this point. The first one that we have to keep in mind, that whatever happens to you, never eat anyone's money or anyone's wealth in an unlawful way. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you. This is one. Two, if someone else has been acting in an oppression way on you, and he dealt with you in an unlawful way, and he took your money, maybe took your house, maybe kicked you out of your land, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who will return your right back. But have belief in Allah. Be steadfast with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return your haqq, your right, in abundance. Not only small amount of money that he deserved at that time that he worked for came back to him. The whole farm went back to him, with its workers, with its assets, with everything was for him. That's because he feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the one who will provide him and won't let him alone. Won't let him alone. How many times we think about that and we relate things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala full reliance, that Allah is the one who will sustain me. Allah is the one who will provide me with work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who will give me money, give my kids, my wife, my family sustenance. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't let you alone and won't leave you. But the condition is you have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and truly feel that blessing. Because knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provides for you is a blessing by itself, within itself. It's different than someone who just lives his life for every moment and doesn't care about that aspect of belief. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach us what benefits us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach us what benefits us. May He azza wa jal connect us with Him in the right way and the strong way that He desires for His servants. Allahumma ameen. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات أحياء منهم وأموات إنك يا مولانا قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا صالحا يا كريم. Oh Allah, we ask you to forgive us for our sins and shortcomings. Oh Allah, forgive us, you are the forgiver. Forgive us, you are the merciful. Oh Allah, shower us with your mercy and blessings in this life and in the hereafter. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا ثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم احمنا واحفظنا بحفظك يا كريم. اللهم احفظنا من شر الأشرار وكيد الفجار وشر ما تعاقب عليه الليل والنهار. اللهم اغفر لوالدينا كما ربونا صغارا. اللهم اغفر لوالدينا كما ربونا صغارا. اللهم اغفر لوالدينا كما ربونا صغارا. اللهم ومن كان منهم حيا فبارك له في عمره وأحسن له في عمله واختم لنا وله بخاتمة الإحسان. ومن كان منهم ميتا فأنزل على قبره شهابيب الرحمات واجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم احفظنا وآباءنا وأزواجنا وذرياتنا وأهلينا وأبناءنا يا رب العالمين. اغفر لنا وتب علينا، بلغنا ما يرضيك وأسعدنا بتقواك ولا تشقنا بمعصيتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وأقم الصلاة.